Hey everyone, Andy Rafael from eTeknix.com, and this is probably one of the hardest videos I've ever had to make because we were hacked. Google account, YouTube, everything went. Luckily we got it back, but I want to tell you guys about it because it was something I guess I should have known better, and I kind of want to raise awareness so that it doesn't happen to any other creators, because it seems like this scam or whatever's going on is quite prevalent in sort of the tech space. And I feel like people need to know about it purely from the standpoint of being able to avoid it. But before we get into that, here's a quick word from this video sponsor.
I'm never going to be an esports gamer. I never get any kills.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Is that Andy Rafael from eTeknix.com?
Yes, my son. It is me, Andy Rafael from eTeknix.com.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to bestow upon you a gift that will transform you into a true gamer. With a 24.5-inch Full HD screen, 240Hz refresh rate, 0.5 millisecond response time, AMD FreeSync Premium, and height adjustability, you'll be gaming in the big leagues in no time.
Thank you.
No problem, my son. Why don't you check out the link in the description below to find out more.
Okay, so I'm going to try and break it down as much as I can as to how this happened, what happened, and what we did to kind of get it back, just so I guess, you know, anyone who has seen what has happened will know exactly what happened, why it happened. And anyone who is in, I guess, you know, the creator space on YouTube and things like that, or even if you're not and you just have Google accounts and things like that, you have, I guess, an opportunity to try and avoid it as much as you can. Now, as we know, there's different types of scams out there. You have ones where people send you dodgy files. We have ones where, you know, people ring you up and pretend that they're, you know, from another country and they're trying to give you money, this, that, and the other. And generally speaking, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, what happened to me was someone approached me on Twitter. For anyone who doesn't know, you know, we've got 40-odd thousand followers on Twitter, and they said that they were a French game developer and that they were developing a game and they wanted to do some pre-roll advertisements. So just like at the beginning of this video, which I was a bit unsure as to whether I was going to include you know, a word from our sponsor, but I wanted to, so you can sort of see, and I can, you know, point to that to say this is the type of, you know, pre-roll advertisements that we do. So we agreed a price on Twitter, and then they said, you know, send us your email, and, you know, we'll send a contract over, this, that, and the other. It's all seemed pretty standard stuff. Normally we send contracts out to people, but sometimes, depending on the brand and how they work, they actually like you to sign a contract, whether it be an NDA, so a non-disclosure agreement, or anything like that, just to, so they've got protection from their side. You'd like to think, you know, they've got lawyers in place and things like that. Now, they sent me over an email and it all looked very legitimate. It, you know, went down the lines of, this is what we want you to do. We will pay up front for this. We will do this. We will do that. Here is a file, basically download it. It should have been, I guess, my first red flag. It was a link to Mega Upload or Mega File, whatever it is, you know, the one that was run by Kim.com. And I didn't really think too much of it because I knew that they were sending me over a video trailer. Now, within that file, it was a RAR file, so it was zipped up, which I sort of thought this is a bit odd, but when I opened it, there were two files in there, one of them being the video. So I thought, they've zipped it up because the video is obviously quite large. And the file size was on the large sort of side, you know, of the scale. Within that, there was the video. And then there was what looked like a PDF file. It had a PDF logo and everything. So I sort of watched the video and I was like, okay, this looks like a game. The company had a website as well called Impulse Flow Game, and they had a telephone number on there, and it all looked legitimate. Admittedly, the game sort of went on the, you know, cryptocurrency side of things, but I thought, you know, crypto is still a thing. Clearly there's something where you can play the game and maybe get crypto from it. I didn't really look too much into it, which I guess was, you know, a mistake from my side. Now, I opened up the PDF file and nothing happened. So this is odd. So I tried opening it again, nothing, you know, nothing actually opened. So I sort of did some more digging and realized the file extension was actually .pdf.scr, which generally SCR is a screensaver file, but it was actually masked to be that. So it looked like a PDF and everything, but it was something different. My computer did sort of act a little bit slow. So I was like, right, there's clearly something odd going on here. So I installed Malwarebytes Premium, did a scan, and it looked like it, you know, caught anything that was on my system. I think there was about 12 things that I had to quarantine. So I ended up doing that. I then thought, right, I need to go out. I needed to do some shopping and grab some lunch and stuff. And while I was out, I wanted to check my email. It's something that I do, you know, periodically through the day. So I opened up my emails and it said I'd been logged out, which I thought was a little bit odd, but didn't really think too much of it. So I went to log back in and it said my password was changed less than an hour ago. And suddenly I was just adding things together and realizing kind of what potentially had happened. So ended up sort of coming back to the office and realizing what had happened. And it was at that point that, because they were now in my Google account, I'd lost my Gmail, which I actually use Gmail on a personal level and as a client for eTeknix emails. But then also on top of that, Google Drive, Google Photos, and obviously my Google account is, you know, YouTube as well. So there was a few worries that I had. Obviously Google Drive, we have a lot of important documents and things like that on there. What's going to happen to all of that? Google Photos, I've got every photo I've taken since I can remember, basically, you know, pictures of my kids, you know, all sorts of kind of photos and things like that. So I'm going to apologize now if a half naked picture of me ends up on the internet somewhere. Hopefully you enjoy it. I don't think anything was kind of compromised there. Once I got my account back, I was able to look at recent and they hadn't opened any Google Drive documents, any photos, anything like that. So I think I'm safe, but you know, never say never. Now, it was at that point that I realized YouTube was compromised and our YouTube channel was actually changed from eTeknix to Tesla Live. The logo was changed, the title was changed, the URL, when you went to youtube.com/eTeknix, actually took you to this Tesla Live. All of our videos were gone, they disappeared. Turns out they were actually set to private and not deleted. I'm guessing because it's much easier to bulk private things than it is to bulk delete things. That's the only kind of thing I can think of, but luckily, yeah, they were still there. Then a live video was actually put onto the channel of Elon Musk talking about cryptocurrency. And just going through YouTube, you can see that this is still happening to people. There's tons of this same type of video, so many people have fallen for it. It was the most stressful just less than 24 hours of my life. I didn't know what to do. I felt, I guess, vulnerable because someone had access to all of this stuff on a personal level and on a business level. I had knots in my stomach. I felt sick. I wanted to cry. I didn't, you know, not trying to, hey, I'm a man and this kind of stuff, but I wanted to cry. And I was there until the late hours of the morning the next day, sort of 1:30 in the morning, on the phone to Google. Luckily, I've got another Google account. I signed up to Google One, and then you get, you know, extra support and things like that where you can talk to someone on the phone. I had to fill out a document for the FBI. Even though I'm not in the UK, there's like a global thing going on. I think it's called IC3, where you fill in all the details because they want to, I guess, realize why this is happening, how this is happening, and how to stop it. So it has now become, you know, more than just, I made a mistake. It's now something legal in terms of, you know, they are trying to, I guess, impersonate a business to a certain degree. We are a limited company, so there's a lot more to it than that, than just, you know, my personal account was hacked. So yeah, it was all my fault by clicking on this link, and I can only assume how they've done things, which is potentially where I've clicked this link and I had my computer at the office turned on, logged into Gmail and logged into all my Google accounts and everything through my browser, that they could just go straight in. They changed the password. They deleted the recovery email, which was another email that I had access to, deleted my recovery phone number, disabled 2FA. And I am a little bit needled by YouTube because I like to think that even if you are logged in, you know, because you might accidentally leave yourself logged in, you know, in a public space or something like that, that if you want to remove them things, I think you should get a prompt, whether it be a text message to your phone or using the Authenticator app or a dongle or a USB key, something to say someone is trying to disable your backup recovery email or your backup telephone number. Please two-factor authenticate for that. But I guess the way that Google sees it is if you're already logged in, you've already authenticated, and they just managed to use my account because they were on my computer. That's what I can assume. So we turned the computer off. It's still been off since Monday. We're going to disconnect the internet from it, turn it back on, back up any files that I need, and then completely wipe that drive, fresh install Windows to make sure it's not there. Doesn't look like it's you know, a rootkit or anything like that. So they they wouldn't have access, beyond that once I have got everything back. But yeah, it's not a nice situation to be in. Google and YouTube partner support, because we are a partner, hence why you see the little ads at the bottom of the videos. They were very, very good. Admittedly, I had to keep emailing, and then you have to wait for an email, and I'm constantly refreshing on my other email. Come on, where's this email? Where's this email? And it was kind of a two-step approach of, I reached out to Team YouTube, the YouTube creator support on Twitter. They kind of forwarded it to the right department, and then they ended up sending over a form for hijacking. I tried recovery options and things like that, but I couldn't supply enough information because I didn't have a backup USB key or the backup codes or anything like that. So I had to fill in this hijack form. It asked me what the channel ID was, the channel URL, where I normally log in from, what IP address I normally log in from, or IP addresses, what devices I use, so my phone, what version of Windows, all that kind of stuff, what the latest video was. I even sent them a picture of my driving license because I would have liked to have thought, you can see me on video, you can see that's me in a driving license photo. Anyone, who's actually looking at this that's not an automated response will be able to go, that guy is clearly that guy. Let's get sort of to this. So I had to get my Google account back first. That was kind of the first step, and then YouTube after. So yeah, about 1:30 in the morning. This all happened about 10:30, 11:30 in the morning on the Monday. About 1:30 in the morning on the Tuesday, I got my Google account back, and I was like, right, I can't do any more now. I'm going to go to sleep. That was after sitting up. I'd sort of lost all hope that I just ended up playing Sons of the Forest and drinking copious amounts of alcohol, just as kind of a coping mechanism, because yeah, this was 10, 12, 14 years of building something up for it all to just fail in an instant and be gone. So like I say, there was a vulnerability aspect to it. Now, when I got the Google account back, I went to sleep and I woke up at sort of 6 o'clock in the morning and the YouTube channel was back. I'd actually been talking to someone that this had happened to as well, only a couple of weeks ago. So I reached out to a guy because someone on our Discord, link down below, shameless plug, someone on our Discord linked to this video of something that happened to this guy called Matt Rittman, who's an animation creator within America on YouTube. And I watched his video, and he's got a video very much like this, I was hacked. And it was exactly the same story as to kind of what happened to him, like literally play by play. So I was talking to him as I was on the phone to Google, and he was telling me, he was trying to remember like how he did it, what the process was. And I sort of said, right, I filled in this form. He was like, right, the next bit will be this. Okay, I've got an email now. Yep, now this. And it was amazing to have someone to speak to that had gone through all of this already. I didn't feel as bad at that point anymore. So thank you, Matt. And if you haven't checked out his content, I'll link in the description because he does some amazing work. And yeah, I don't even know this guy. Like, I just randomly messaged him on Twitter and be like, I saw this happen to you. The same things happened to me. And he was amazing at, yeah, sort of, you will get it back. Don't worry, this, that, and the other. So yeah, it happens. We have got it back now. Luckily, all the videos on YouTube were set to private. So now we have to go through because we have videos that are public and then we have videos that are unlisted that we use to embed onto eTeknix.com. We don't want them public on the channel, but we still want them watchable on the website. So we embed them and treat them as unlisted. Otherwise, we could just select all of them, make public and stuff like that. Obviously, we have videos that we were planning to do that were uploaded, ready to publish, and we haven't. So we've still got the Q&A stuff from February, which now it's the 1st of March. It's going to have to, go over into that. I think that pretty much covers everything. We are in the process, I guess, now of making things live again, doing damage control. And while we have got about 4 or 5 videos ready to publish, I wanted to make this video so that everyone knows what's gone on, because we lost subscribers as well. People would have got notifications for that live stream and they would have seen, I guess, this isn't what I subscribe to, unsubscribe. And once that's happened, YouTube can't force someone to resubscribe just because they were hacked. They can't be like, look, this channel was hacked, we're going to automatically resubscribe you. That would go against their terms and policies and things like that. So we lost just under 100 subscribers. So it wasn't the end of the world. I know Matt, he lost, he's got 2 million subs. He lost like 13,000 subscribers, I think it was. So it could have been a lot worse for us. And that's why I was so hot on trying to get it back as soon as possible because the damage was just going to keep going. Luckily, because I was so quick on it, me and the team, YouTube actually took it down, and when you try going on our channel, it came up that we'd broken terms and policies and things like that. So kind of the damage was done up to that point. Nothing else could be done after. We was getting messages on Facebook, Twitter, Discord. Do you guys know your channel's down, this, that, and the other? And apologies if I didn't respond to everyone because I was too busy behind the scenes trying to get it back already. So yeah, we were more than aware, probably before anyone else was really. But yeah, it was a terrible, terrible time for me personally and the business because, you know, it's not just me. There's Deck behind the camera. There's Brandon in the other room testing stuff. There's Pete. There's Jacob, you know, people who do stuff on the website. And yeah, this is, you know, our livelihoods and things like that. You know, they all get paid every month and they want to make sure, you know, that they've got a stable job to come to every single day. So yeah, it was a lot of weight on my shoulders, making sure that everything was good for me, but also for them and for, I guess, the protection of my family with the fact that, you know, photos could be leaked and documents could be leaked and things like that because, you know, we do have to sign a lot of non-disclosure agreements. This video has probably gone on a lot longer than what I was anticipating. I was hoping for like a 3-4 minute video, but I feel like it's probably closer to 10 minutes or something like that. But there was a lot to go through. I guess the main key thing is we are back now. Once this video goes live, obviously we'll post it onto Twitter and Facebook. So anyone who, you know, only goes on our website and doesn't view videos, they'll be able to see exactly kind of what's gone on and what's happened. But I've never had a virus. I've never had malware, never had ransomware, anything like that in all my life of having a computer. This was the first time. So it goes to show, you know, I'm very vigilant as a person and you'd like to think, Andy, you should know better. And yeah, I should have, but it looked that legitimate. It's not like the old days where you'd get an email from a bank that you haven't even got an account from trying to like phish you basically. This was a lot more kind of targeted. And just posting this out on Twitter as well about what had happened, people have come to me and said, yeah, they've come to me as well. And I've had similar from places. And yeah, they basically offered me, you know, stupid amounts of money. And again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Ours wasn't. I gave them a price and, you know, it was a reasonable price and they agreed to it straight away. There was no haggling or anything like that. And clearly this is why they didn't care. I could have probably said, yeah, $2 million for this advertisement. And they were, yeah. That would have, you know, I guess given me all the indications that I needed to know. But yeah, these scams are getting a lot more sophisticated. So I wanted to make this video so that creators and just general public, you know, you guys, the viewers, could see that these things happen and then potentially avoid it. I'd like to think the FBI and YouTube and their kind of, you know, crime and scam squads and things like that are looking into these. It's not just, you know, hush hush. Not just for me, like on a whole, on a big scale, that they are looking into all of these things and that I don't think you're ever going to avoid it, but, you know, maybe they can at least do something to try and protect people a little bit more. I think YouTube maybe need to do a little bit more in terms of being able to get hold of them directly because the YouTube department doesn't have direct contact in terms of telephone numbers or anything like that. Maybe they could add a live chat specifically for, you know, premium partners on YouTube, people who have AdSense and things, because it's in their best interest to try and keep that going because they make money off the ads that are shown. We make money, they make money. There's a percentage split. So they want to obviously try and protect that as much as they can. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't get emotional because I was, like I say, very emotional the other day. I'm glad I've managed to kind of get through this video and hopefully giving you guys an understanding as to what's happened. Like I say, I was in two minds as to adding a pre-roll to the beginning of this video because I don't want to monetize something. I don't want you guys to be, oh, Andy, you know, really sorry for you. You know, I appreciate all the support and everything, but this was a mistake that I made. But this video, the purpose of it is to raise awareness that this happened, not just to me, but to anyone out there, because this is our livelihoods. This is how we make money. This is how we put food on the table. And yeah, one other thing, on Twitter, I did message them after and said, why have you sent me, you know, malware? They were like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no malware. And then eventually I said, clearly you've hacked me. And they said, give me $500 and I won't touch your data. So yeah, it's a form of ransomware, which, you know, is a criminal offense, no matter what country you're in. That about sums it up, I think. There's probably so much more I could go through, but I think that generally gives the gist of what happened, why it happened, how we managed to get things back. So I want to say a huge thank you to every single person who did reach out, who tried to offer support. You know, even just putting up posts on social media, we got all the bots there. Oh, you want to talk to this person on Instagram? They will help you get your account back. Don't fall for any of that either. Literally go straight to YouTube, straight to Google support. Sign up to Google One so you can literally call them up. That will be the quickest way of getting through to the right department and getting it sorted. So thank you for everyone who did reach out, you know, with your kind words and, you know, ideas and things like that. And even the people now that we've got the channel back who are going through the videos and making sure that everything is okay. Thank you to YouTube and Google support as well. Thank you to Matt Rittman, who, like I say, was, I don't know, he gave me light at the end of the tunnel. The fact that he'd gone through it already, and I know many other content creators have. And if this does happen to you, I'm more than happy to kind of answer any questions and maybe steer you in the right direction as well, as much as I can. Hopefully that helps. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like and a sub to the channel would be amazing. And anyone who did, you know, unsubscribe, I welcome you back with open arms. Hopefully, you know, you will come back because of the huge amounts of, you know, actual legitimate content that we are coming up with very, very soon. And yeah, if you want to support us in any way, obviously you can do over on Patreon. That helps us like you wouldn't believe, where we can actually go out and buy products that we don't get sent all the time so that we can bring, you know, unbiased content to you guys and stuff as well. You get tons of other benefits as well, but I won't go through that. That's time for, you know, another video. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. We're back. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.